All right, what's up? Y'all, we running out of time to build wealth the right way. I'm going to talk about that, what that means, and hopefully I can put a little inspiration under you to really get started. I've been trying to get the word out all year, and I think our window of opportunity is running a bit slim. So drop where you're from, and we're going to get right into what we are going to be discussing. And then I'm going to tell you a new play that I got in today and a few little arrangements I made with my portfolio. I'm also going to share with you an ETF that I'm looking into. I haven't started to buy any of it yet, but I'll share a little bit about that because I'm slowly going to gain my position with a new ETF. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you in the house, in the place. Let me make sure my comments are on so I can look at them over here. As always, I'm finagling between three different platforms. All right, guys, what's going on? We got a lot to talk about today. There's just some crazy stuff happening today. I need to adjust this. Give me one moment. There's a few crazy things that's going on. Drop where you're from, Chi-Town. You are in my home city, New Jersey. What's going on? Hey, Tiffany, what's happening? One of my members is here. A Green, another member. Here from Jamaica. I love it. I love it. What's going on? I love when I get the international people, members, coming in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all the way from Jamaica. All right. We got a little bit to talk about today, but I promise you this will change the course of your life if you just hear me out for a moment. If you don't, I'm telling you now, there's going to be some repercussions. I really believe that. I wouldn't just be saying this to you all. I'm really here because I want to see you kill it. I want to see you build wealth. I don't want to look up and you're just in the worst situation, in the next several years. And I do think there are some people that's going to be in a huge huge disadvantage. I hope I'm not freezing. I saw myself freeze for a minute. UK in the house. I haven't been to UK in so long. I would love to just get back. Barbados, what's up? Guyana, yes, come on, come on. Ghana. All right, all right. Let's see. Okay, I want to make sure I wasn't missing any of the internet. I'm giving a shout out to the international people. All right, well, it is Friday, and the market hit a new all-time high today. So I woke up, and I believe it was in pre-market where it hit a new all-time high. If you guys have not been following the market, it did just the S&P 500. Hey, from Los Angeles, just hit a new all-time high. And let me know that you guys can hear me because I want to make sure when I saw that little freeze that it didn't do anything to my video. So I would appreciate if you would let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me. I just want to make sure before I international. Yeah, they represent today. I love it. MS Lewis, I love it. Yeah, they represent today. And you can't see the chats on all the different streams. So they're from different places. Can't post comments, some destinations. Hold on one second. I'm not getting my comments on. For some reason, I'm not getting my comments on YouTube. If you on YouTube, comment for. Okay, there we go. It got stuck. My comments got stuck. So I'm seeing now. I'm a little backed up. I'm seeing Ohio, South Carolina, New York. Yes, you guys are global today. Virginia, Ireland. What's up? Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. I couldn't see the chats for a minute, so I was kind of making sure that you guys can hear me because I got some valuable information. I promise you it's going to change your life if you just pay attention to what I'm saying. We in another week, y'all. Another week, another headline, people losing jobs, inflation. Data is showing that we're not where we thought we were. Allegedly NBA players making hundreds of millions of dollars are being arrested for gambling schemes. So, and I do think all of this is connected because whether it's a billionaire or a teacher or a pro athlete, most people are still gambling with their money instead of compounding it. And I want to talk about that today because, I'm sitting there thinking, like, how is it that people making six figures are still stressed about money? Well, I guess I can understand it in this inflation, but what about the people making millions and are still gambling like they broke? You know what I mean? Like that's when I woke up, I saw a lot of news and the reports and everything that was happening. Amazon, I saw that Amazon is planning to double their revenue. I think they say about 2030 or something like that. But they're planning to, of course, expand. And but in order for them to expand, they're going to need 600,000 more workers. Okay, thank you for letting me know you can hear me. They need 600,000. I think some of my chats are still behind, but bear with me today if I don't see your comment, because they're coming through like bagged up in batches almost. So I need that ETF. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that ETF. But Amazon said they need, in order to do what they want to do, they would need to hire 600,000 more people. But they also at the same time said that they're not going to be hiring those people. They're going to use automation and robots to replace them. So that's 75% of potential jobs that's gone before they even start. So y'all, we living in some time. I'm gonna explain it. This is the world that we're living in right now. At the same time, the new inflation data came out. Like I said, prices are high. They're rising faster than wages. That's a problem. Groceries up, rent up. I'm looking at comments. People like, I get paid and then money gone. You know what I mean? Like I'm spending it on groceries, on gas, on insurance, on healthcare, on, you know what I mean? My rent, my mortgage, my utilities. Anyway, but the stock market is still doing great, like I said. But let's be clear, that only benefits those who have assets, right? If housing go up, who does it benefit? The people who's, well, either selling the house or those who have houses that they have equity in and they can, you know what I mean, borrow against it, or or sell it. You know what I mean? So I want to talk about something really, really deep, because I think many people are losing direction when all of this stuff is going on, and losing a little bit of hope. And when you don't have direction, that's when you start to gamble. You're gambling with money, with time, and that's why I say we're running out of time. You're gambling with peace. It's not always about money. It's just about having peace. Hey, is that Teresa? Hey, Teresa, what's going on? We are gambling. Thank you, Tony. We're gambling with peace. And this not just about everyday folks. It's happening on top. Like I said, allegedly, even the NBA players, guys who've made over $100 million are getting arrested for money schemes, gambling, just gambling with sports betting and stuff like that, and they're going down also allegedly for rigged poker games. Again, allegedly they got to have, they're in custody, I believe, and we'll see how that goes. But I think some of them might be cooked. Now, I do want to say everything I say is for educational purposes only. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell. Speak to your financial advisor about that. Investing comes with risk, and you can lose everything that you have. Okay. Now, I always point this out. It's not a money problem, because when you're making hundreds of millions of dollars, that's not a money problem. I tell you that now. Okay. And I was just telling somebody the other day, I saw a live documentary years ago with Mike Tyson, and he walked through how he lost $400 million. And I love the bravery of him to be able to share that story. But he explained exactly what he did. And it's what everybody do. He just spent money because he had a lot of money. So he was just spending it on stuff and houses and tigers and, aunt, girlfriend this and aunt and your auntie and her auntie. So I can keep this girl just, in cars and houses blocks apart, and just, you know what I mean? I got it. So I'm just going to splurge. Right. See, when you never learned, and we're going to talk about compounding, when you never learn compounding, your brain craves adrenaline instead of stability. And that's what starts to happen to a lot of people. You start chasing excitement. You want the excitement of things, a feeling, instead of systems. We talk about the systems. And then once you start losing, you have to take bigger risks than to cover the losses, until eventually the risk will take over you. And I understand how that feels, because even with trading and stuff, if you're losing, and sometimes you thought it was going to go in an up direction and then it goes down, you start trying to now buy back low so you can DCA into that particular trade. That's the only way a lot of times to get out and not to lose as much. Sometimes it works, but other times it doesn't. Okay. And so that's exactly what's happening in our culture. And it's not just, again, the NBA, it's the average person. You got some people, they gamble in Vegas. Others is gambling on meme coins. Others are doing leverage trading. And I think this weekend I want to talk a little bit about XRP. I'll talk about that, my thoughts on that. Other people hype stocks. All right. They chasing a feeling and not a strategy. I need you guys to really pay attention to this because what I'm going to say is very, very important. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please go ahead and just take that moment to do that. It helps YouTube push the algorithm out. It helps my videos, and so if you want to help me, as I'm, giving value to you, all you have to do is hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you can get the notifications when I come on. All right, looking through the chats just a minute. Okay. All right. And then if you're not on YouTube and you're looking streaming through other platforms, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to YouTube also, because I'm not going to live. I only go live on YouTube on weekends. I don't go live anywhere else. All right. All right. So again, like and subscribe. Everything I say is for educational purposes only. Now, listen, I did the math. If an NBA player that's making $100 million, because allegedly one of them, that's how much they've made. If they had just taken half of that money, just pay attention, like just to common sense. If they took half that money and never did anything, no stock market, no S&P 500, which would make them even a lot more than what I'm about to tell you. But even if on the bare minimum, they took that money, half the money, $50 million, and just put it in a high yielding savings account, okay, an annual return. Do you know that's about $1.75 million in passive income to do nothing but just put it and lock it in a high yielding savings account? That's almost $150,000 a month. Now, how many people? I know y'all could live off $150,000 a month. Is that not enough? Now, that's the bare minimum. If you do nothing with your money. Now, imagine if you did put it in the S&P 500, a VOO, a VTI that's making, 10, 15, 20% a year on average, when you're looking at like a span of like 10 years. Now, you see that, but think about this. That's what most people are doing on a smaller scale. Now, you look at a larger scale and you say, oh man, I'd never do that. No, if you can't discipline yourself with money with the $1 you have, you're not going to be able to do it with the 1 million you have. So you may look down on somebody who went through all of that money and think like, oh man, if I had that money. No, because it's not about the money. It's about the mindset. It's about the adrenaline. It's about the feeling. This is deeper than just money. And I want to show you that if you're not disciplining yourself with the small, you're not going to do it with the big. You are not. Thank you so much. LSD is a new member. I appreciate that. Let me put you up there. Right. Thank you. Welcome to the membership. We're going to rock and roll because there's some things I'm going to be sharing there that I'm not going to share here. Okay. So these are there are people, even if you're not wealthy like that, there are people who gamble with their paycheck. Like I say, they gamble with their peace and they call it trying to win. You're not trying to win. Gambling is emotional. It's reactive. It's built on, again, adrenaline, not logic. As we see logically, it would make sense to just put your money here and you ain't even got to do nothing. You ain't got to worry about all the anxiety and stuff. That's the same energy behind why people do 100x leverage on trading. It's why people spend money on things they could barely afford because they're looking for excitement. But here is the thing, compounding. I'm going to share something real profound. Compounding is very quiet, it's patient, and it's boring until it's not. It's boring until it's not boring, y'all. Okay. It's boring until it's not. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I put this in one of my groups. If you take 1 penny and you double it every day for 30 days, okay, and I'm going to get into a few plays that I'm in, but I want y'all to hear this because this is the type of understanding that you have to carry in life and live by. But if you double a penny every day for 30 days, I know you don't believe me, but you can do the math yourself. That penny by day 30 will become $10 million. And you know what's crazy is that like the first 15 days, even halfway through that, you're not even at $400. You at like $300 and some dollars, right? And then if you get to, I want to say like day 20, you only at $10,000. You don't even get to $1 million until you like at day 27, somewhere around there. Okay. And then all of a sudden it takes 2 days, a few days or whatever for you to get to from 1 million now to 10 million, right? That's what compounding looks like. It's slow, invisible growth until one day it just explodes. And people are not patient enough for the explosion. And that's why people never see it. Is because they quit before the curve starts to turn upward. Okay. And then then it's back to gambling, back to risk. See, compounding is the exact opposite of gambling because it's not about chance. It's about living on principles. It's about doing these small little things. I'm telling you, small little consistent day-to-day things that don't look like they really making a difference. I don't know if I'm really making a difference or not. And then suddenly it'll change your entire world. Yes, Tiffany, compounding is boring until it's not, right? But you got to stay in the game to experience it, right? And so that's why I have been trying to tell you all year, don't chase the feeling of winning, chase the system or the process that guarantees it. Now, that right there is skill, okay? That is mindset. That is everything you need right there. Hear me out. Compounding will become your protection plan. And instead of compounding, people are again gambling. And I want to get you out of that gamble lifestyle because just think about it for a minute. If something happened to your job right now today, what do you have saved up? What do you have for a backup plan? How much is in your emergency fund? If they lay you off and you have nothing and you got other things planned on your schedule that's going to cost you money, but you have nothing for a rainy day. You don't know what they're going to say. You don't know if your job going to go on strike. You don't know if you're all of a sudden going to be replaced. You don't know, but you're gambling with your peace. Every time you spend money that you don't have to spend. Yeah. Trust the process, Tokef said. Trust the process. I want you all to trust the process, right? And so that's what I'm here to share today, is that I want you into compounding versus gambling. And it's very easy. I promise you, it is so, so easy. All you have to do is put some money aside, whether it DCA on some good, the Magnificent Seven, buy them every week, every day, eat some great ETFs, VOO, you know what I mean? VTI, buy you some good, solid ETFs. I'm going to share an AI ETF that I'm really, really into. Well, let me first share with you again, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you share this video. I really want, I think the time is limited right now with how much time we have in the window. And the reason why is because you know how the only way I could give it to you is in a visualization. Like say the flood is coming and you're about to be the water is rising up past your ankles and then past your knees, and people are saying, hey, come over here before you drown, before you get like push with the wind and the current and stuff. Come over here, step out. And you just don't decide to step out. You stay in doing the same thing. You're not going to move, even though you see the water is about to come up and drown you. That's what inflation is going to do. There could be a time, like think about it in the, Angela, thank you so much. Angela is a member now. Think about in the time, there's scriptures that talk about there may come a day where your bread is the same as a day's wages. That's what happens with inflation. Like you something that didn't even cost that much now y'all saw what happened with tissue paper when we went through COVID, supply and demand, right? And so I'm telling you that the reason why the window is so short is because inflation, like I say, is rising so high, and then people are losing jobs. So now you don't have cash flow. Now stuff is rising. And so it's going to drown you to where you can't now even get out of it. You can't get out. Now you can't afford your house anymore. You can't afford your car. You can't afford utilities. You can't afford, to go buy groceries and stuff. Families going to be living together. They're going to be living together, like some cultures do. They're going to be, and some cultures do that in a wise way where they like, we all going to like kind of save on money and we going to just like all move in together and pay on the bills. But I'm telling you, there's going to, and those of you who are listening, I want you to know this, and just give me 1 second. I'm going to give you my plays. I want you to know this, that unfortunately, those who are going to take this serious, your family is going to be coming to you for help. And it's okay. It's okay. Not in a, like it is better to give than to receive. Why? Because you have it to give. If somebody's on the receiving end, that means they ain't got it to give. So it is more blessed to be, to give than to receive. Okay. A second, she got a scripture, 2 Kings 6, they were going through inflation. So this is the type of stuff that happens with inflation. But there are I'm not saying that you're going to be given out of like entitlement, but it's really going to be some people who need you. It's really going to be, and you may think like, man, you know what I mean, you had the same opportunities as me, but again, it's more blessed to give than to receive. And so you are going to have to help some people out because you're going to be prosperous, you're going to have it to give, and there's going to be some people who just didn't listen, or they didn't know. Lack of knowledge makes people perish. They weren't in a position. But woe is both of y'all if y'all both falling into the ditch. I mean, somebody got to do something. Amen. And so it's just like Joseph. He had to help his family when there was a day of famine, and there's days of famine coming. And I don't think people realize it. Please teach us boundaries. Yeah, I'm not, I talk a lot about boundaries because I don't think people, family members or friends or anybody should be entitled, okay, to get what you've worked hard for. In the Black community, there's what you call, I heard somebody say this, several people say this, like there's called a black tax. The black tax mean like you owe it to us to come back and help us. You ain't did nothing to work for this. What do you mean I owe you? I worked for this while you sat and did nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now it's different when somebody go through hardship and they are doing everything they can, but it's a lot of lazy people out there. A lot of lazy people who don't want to do anything, who don't want to get a job, who don't, and sometimes they don't want to because they're getting assistance. And they're like, if I get a job, I'm going to stop getting assistance. You locked in the system. Boo, you ain't going to get out if you try because you locked. They got you on lockdown, right? And so we don't want to be like that. Do y'all really think y'all in a day where y'all can trust the gov to take care of you and your future? Anybody who believes that has literally lost their mind. Literally. Hey, from Indiana, they have literally lost their mind, right? So come on, y'all. We gotta be better than this. We gotta know that we are responsible for our future. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not gonna have to help some people, because as much as Joseph's family did dirty to him, he still had to help them. He still had to rescue them, but he was blessed, and he was blessed to do it. And so if you blessed to do it, then do it. Not on somebody else's terms, but on your term. But you're going to have to help people, y'all. I already know I got to help people. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not for me. It's because I know some people are just numb. They're just, and they're so stuck in their habits right now that they're just not willing to sacrifice. And even even if they are willing to sacrifice, they're willing to sacrifice only a certain level. Like, okay, now I'll do that, but I ain't gonna do that. Well, what happens when but then you're gonna want somebody else to sacrifice 100%, but you're not willing to sacrifice 100%. Right? I tell my kids all the time, I said, mommy is more likely to help you if I can see that you're helping yourself. I can see that you're doing the work too. I'm not going to outwork you. I don't, that's not my responsibility. I put a roof over your head. I done took care of you all these years, and I took care of you good. And I'm a kind person. You know what I mean? I'm not a mean person. My kids, the only thing I really don't like is when they don't clean up. But you're not going to let me outwork you. I'm not going to love you. Like, you know how some parents, like, I just don't want to see. No. I'm going to match your energy now. Okay, you got $1, I give you $1. Okay, you got 0, I give you 0. Since when can you ever go to the bank and say, I ain't got nothing, I just want you to give me just some money? Hey, Latasha, what's up? Welcome to the family. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Right? Since when does that, you when you go to you got to put a down payment. They're like, okay, you got to give us 25%. You give us our, we give you. Okay, it's an exchange, right? Folks is not looking for that. They looking for dependency. They looking for a handout. That ain't how it works in life. I don't even want to set my kids up for that. It's not the way the world works. Okay. And so I would give, but also teach you how to fish. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, and if I'm going to give to you, we're going to sit and talk about your finances. We're going to talk about what's going wrong. If you can't get the education, you can't get the investment. Because anything I invest in, I do my research. You ain't going to ask for, oh, I need to borrow $5,000. And okay, well, what's going on? What happened? Let's see your finance. Don't ask me about that. Oh, okay. I don't invest in stuff even in the stock market without doing my research. So I can't invest blindly. I'm not investing blindly. How I know you ain't gonna go gamble this money? How I don't know you don't got a drug addiction? Like, we do have to put boundaries, because sometimes you are creating and molding these people to be how they are, and you teach them how to treat you. So if you the magnet to everybody coming to you, getting everything and asking you for stuff, that's you. That's you. They feel comfortable coming to you and asking you for stuff all the time. And they ain't gonna learn their lesson because they know they got you to depend on. They got their back, you their emergency fund. You just didn't know that you was the emergency fund. Instead of them saving their money and making their own emergency fund, you the emergency fund, right? It's important to ask God for wisdom in all things, but also be a forward thinker and visionary. Yes, George, have faith in what God shows you and pursue with everything within you. And you know what? I want to share some of my convictions, even with the stock market, because that's a great point, George, because I pray and I ask God, like the things that I invested and the things that I do, they're not blind. I ask God for wisdom. I speak to him about the investments and ask him for information and wisdom. You know what I mean? And so that's the way I operate. Now everybody got to have their own game plan. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. Everything I say financially is for educational purposes only. Okay. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Now I will tell you, and I'll talk a little bit more about this particular stock, but I just got into, and did I do a DCA? I think I started a new DCA yesterday. I'm just trying to remember. Was it Google? It might have been Google. Anyway, I also got into a Google Leap. Okay. Now my Google Leap, I had to sell things out today. I got out of a couple of plays. I got out of I'm still in Lyft. I'm still in Lyft Leap. Leap means it's just out. My contract is out more than a year, but I had some Lyft swing trades that was like for 2026. And I got out of them because I try not to like I only try to put a certain amount, with trades. And I don't like to manage. Man, sometimes it gets a lot when you're managing just so many different trades, and swings and leaps and stuff like that. So I did get out. I still got my Lyft, but I got out of my Lyft swing. And I also got out of my bull. I got out of my bull place, but I got out in some profit with that. But I don't want to read into bull until they can manage over $12. I don't like this $11 range, $10 range. So yeah, when they can get and stay over $12, I will look for maybe some more entry plays. We'll see, because they diluting their share. It's just a lot going on with that company. But anyway, so then I re-enter, and I'm still in a NVIDIA Leap, and NVIDIA did me very well today. Google ran today, y'all. Oh my goodness. But anyway, when it had a pullback, I did get in, and I wanted to make room for that because Google is expensive. And the reason why it's expensive is because I got all the way in the money play. Okay. Because I'm a little behind on it. So I had to spend more upfront because I want all the way in the money. So it's far from the money right now. I'm already in the money, and this play goes out 18 months. So almost 2 years, mid 2027, somewhere around July or something like that. And so I got that's for me. Again, I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm just letting you know one of the things that I got into, but I paid a lot for it because those contracts are 6K and above, because again, I got all the way in the money play. Okay. And so, I am team Google, and I'll explain in another video why. Also, I'm still learning how to read and understand the charts. Yeah. Another play that I'm looking at, just even with that being said, with the charts, is I am looking to get back into an Amazon Leap, but I am looking for, it did close over 224 today. I just wanted it to close over 224 was one thing that I was looking for. And then I wanted it to, let me just see real quick. Amazon. Yeah, it's at 224.3. Okay. I wanted it to go. And then I'm still looking for the RSI to come up just a little bit. It is bullish on the daily chart. But I'm also looking for the MACD to cross up above the zero line, above the line. It hasn't done that yet. So, but it's close. We'll see. Because, but hey, anything could happen. Somebody could tweet something, and guess what's gonna happen? So we got to pay attention to that. My goodness. I mean, technical analysis don't put into play. I say we need a White House indicator. Okay. We need a White House indicator to be put on the charts to include in technical analysis. So I say that to say, y'all, sometimes I do keep my communities up to par with exactly what's going on and looking over portfolios and stuff like that. But if I say I'm getting into play, you may not get into the same play as me. Like I say, it may not be the same strike. It may not be the same date. It's just the timing, the price point, so be careful, because again, there are things that invalidate a play. And if it goes left, I have my lines in the sand. I have where my supports are. If they break my support or my structure on my chart, I might pull out and you might still be, oh, she said to get this. And no, I didn't tell you what to get. I'm telling you what I got. And so I don't want you guys, you know what I mean? You got to know what you're doing. You know, if you don't know how to trade, I say to learn how to paper trade and just continue to build the skill. I'm an investor. I'm pushing you to invest. Okay. Trading is just a skill, like a basketball is a skill, just like copywriting is a skill. You know what I mean? And it takes a lot of time and effort to look at the charts and stuff like that. So I want you to be an investor first. Okay. I know y'all want to trade to get some money, but most of you all will probably lose a lot first. It takes a while to become profitable. Okay. So if you don't know the charts and the basics and stuff like that, so be careful with that. That's all I'm saying. I'll be out of a play and you don't even, you still in it because you don't have a reason why you got in it. If you ain't got a reason why you get in it, as I always say, you're not going to know why you're getting out. You know what I'm saying? Or when to get out. Where can we go to? I mean, they got paper trading on brokerage accounts where you can just paper trade and you don't have to use real money. And so I think that's a great place for a lot of people to start. You know what I mean? So, okay, the ETF that I'm looking into also is I am researching an ETF. It's an AI ETF and it's called AIQ. AIQ. That's an ETF. And the reason why I like it is because it's got exposure to multiple AI plays without going all in on one company. Okay. So, they are, I think it's about 80 to 90 AI companies. And the good thing about it, that doesn't mean it's not going to be volatile. I think any tech company is going to be a little bit, AI may be a little volatile or whatever. But what I like about it is, even though it's got like 80 to 90 companies, you know, like every AI company ain't going to be successful, y'all. Y'all got to know the difference between if a company is profitable. So some of the stuff that I mentioned are swing trades. They're to make money. They're not to like be profitable, like aka like quantum computing is not profitable. That's why the government is trying to get them $10 million. But if you're getting $10 million and then you spending $30 million, like, are they going to keep up with that? You know what I'm saying? So be very careful when these start swinging on the downside because they're not profitable companies. Okay, so be careful. All right. And do your due diligence with some of these companies. They can make, just like what Beyond Meat, if you know what you're doing, made a lot of people a lot of money, right? But that ain't a Google. That ain't that don't go, you know, again, I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell, but I'm not going to put a bunch of shares long term. Again, a swing trade, maybe stop losses, absolutely, move it up in profit, have your game plan. But anyway, AIQ, I wish I knew how to swing trade. Yeah, I mean, it takes some time. You know what I mean? Everybody who's swing trading or whatever, they're still learning. Everybody keeps learning, and you gotta know what moves the market. And right now, honestly, we love technical analysis, but we couldn't see the Black Swan events coming. We couldn't see Liberation Day and what it would do. These are both good swings and bad swings. So it's very difficult sometimes with the way this administration kind of moves it, but it does allow for opportunity. So I'm not mad at it. I just look at everything as an opportunity. Just get in where you fit in and make money. I ain't gonna complain about it because that's my energy. My energy need to go towards making money. Okay. I ain't got time to be complaining and whining about what they doing. What the White House do. No, what is your house doing? That's what you need to be occupied with. What is my house doing? Like, I ain't gonna be more wrapped up in their house than my house. Like, that don't make no sense to me. And I get people are so passionate about it. Don't get mad at me for saying this, y'all, but I'm telling you, take care of your house. Okay. And if whatever they do, I know it can alter things, but just there's an opportunity in everything. It's just who is the person behind it. It ain't even what's happening. It's the person behind it. You could be the one that see the doom in it and the gloom in it, and somebody else can see the blessing in it. You know what I'm saying? And the opportunity in it. It's you that makes the difference. So that's how we live our life. We ain't got to worry about external stuff or whatever. It's going to be stuff that's happening every day. And if you steadily blaming everybody and everyone and everything for why you can't get ahead, you ain't going to never get ahead because you ain't realized the problem is you. You got to get over you. You got to change your mindset. You got to change the way you look at things. You got to change your perspective. Okay. So somebody said, wow, sorry. I get to go there because y'all know I'm into mindset stuff. You know what I mean? What is my house doing? That's right, Danielle. Right. That's what I'm worried about. You know what I'm saying? And how to bring opportunity on that. Okay. So again, AIQ, The good thing I like about it is, although there are a lot of companies that are, 80 to 90 AI companies, and some of them will not do well. But the good thing is that they have the top 10 AI companies within that ETF, and they hold the majority of the weight. Okay. So you got your Nvidia, your Microsoft, your Google, your Amazon is also into that, in that ETF, in that fund, and some of the other heavier top dogs, right? And they actually carry more of the weight, but it's still exposed to other AI plays. It can be volatile, so just be on the watch out. And that's why I'm not going all in at once. I'm going to start to average and build my position, basically. Very safe. I like safe moves. Okay. You ain't got to go all in on stuff unless unless it's super super solid, like a, if somebody like, oh, I'm gonna put $500,000, you better put it in a Google or a Microsoft. You better put it in something like that, where you can, where 10 years from now you're gonna be fine. Now you may have to run through a wave of stuff, but in the long run, you're gonna be fine. Hey, from Melbourne, what's going on? I tell you, we got the international people in the house. I love it. All right. We have 115 awesome viewers, but only 50 likes. Come on, y'all. Hit that like button if you can. That's all I ask. That's what I'm asking for. It's just that you hit that like button for me, because when you hit that like button, YouTube will push my video out to more people. So if you guys can help me with that and team up with me on that, I would appreciate it. And thank you so much, Tiffany, for saying that. But please, can you hit that like button for me? You know what I mean? Especially if I'm here and you're feeling like what I'm teaching you is valuable. I would really 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 appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. All right. I'll be back on. I want to give my thoughts on XRP, and I want to talk a little bit about that. So I will do that this weekend. And listen, I still have, you can join the membership. It's only $3.99 a month. And if you're an Android user, it's less than that. Okay. So I share my mindset and my mindset framework, and I do live breakdowns, and that you're not going to get access to on this channel right here. It's only for membership only. You're going to get access to my private live streams, real Q&A, and behind the scenes strategy on how I build and manage wealth. I think my next one, I did one this Monday, and I think I'll do another one next Monday. And I'm going to talk about that principle that I believe that God showed me on how I should become more profitable as an investor. And it was something that I was highly overlooking. Very simple principle, but it's in the scripture. And I want to really break down that scripture and share with you guys what he shared with me in this revelation concerning, just how to become more profitable, how to become a wise investor. And there's a secret principle in the Bible that I don't think I was fully taken advantage of. And I'm going to share that with you guys this Monday. Also, if you do want the full coaching experience, where we work on rewiring your thinking, strengthening your health, and building your wealth blueprint, click the link for the 90-day health and wealth challenge. You can fill out a quick questionnaire, and then we can get you right on going. And that's where I can really dive deep into portfolios and things like that. And so it's a full coaching experience. Okay. So I want you guys to check that out. Other than that, I will be back. I'm going to try to come back tomorrow, or hopefully I'll make it back tomorrow. It'll be sometime this weekend, but I do want to get my thoughts on XRP. Hey, is anybody holding XRP? Let me see. Put it in the chats if you are. Do you know what XRP is? Are you holding it? And please hit that like button as well. I just want to see if anybody is holding XRP. I put it in QQQ. Yes, y'all know I just did I got in QQQ. Where are we at today? I got in QQQ. I took my profits. But I got in when it hit 600, just like 2 days ago. It had bottomed out, hit 600, and then today it got back to around 600, and it got back to like 617. I think it went to 618 though. So yeah, I made a good little profit on QQQ. But QQQ is another amazing ETF. I hold QQQ shares. I love QQQ. I see we got some XRP holders. Absolutely. I want to share a little bit on that. I know it's a controversial thing. XRP still down. Teresa said drop, meaning you drop the XRP. How can I set up a one-on-one consult? I'll put that link in the description as well. WD. I'll put that link in the description for a setup for one-on-one. I'll put my calendar there. So you'll see it in this video. when I get off, I'll put it in there, so you'll see it in the video. Okay, I'll put that there. Okay, and that's for anybody who is looking for a one-on-one, because I do one-on-ones, and I'm limited to how many people I will take for a one-on-one because of the time. All right, so yes, I see some XRP holders. I love it. I love it. Same. I want to consult too. Absolutely, absolutely, Megan. I'll put that link. And you know what, Megan, you're part of my membership, so I'll also put that in the membership. Missed the entire stream. Oh man, Megan, I don't know. I went on like 10 minutes early and put it. YouTube was kind of slow sending out some of the notifications because the chats were even stuck at one point. Go back and listen to it though, because I talked about a lot of stuff. But you are in my membership, so I'll go in there and let me screenshot this too. I'll go in there and also put my information there too. And we're gonna be spending some time there. Check out also my posts. I'll be updating you all in the membership on the indicators and learning how to, on basic chart reading, how to look at least the indicators and stuff. Okay. My thoughts on SoFi. Somebody asked, do you know how I buy Bitcoin in New York? You buy Bitcoin on on a exchange like Coinbase or Kraken or Binance or, Uphold. You can buy Bitcoin there. My thoughts on SoFi. I love SoFi. I'm long-term SoFi. I'm a SoFi customer. So I really like SoFi long term. And when you've been holding SoFi since under $10, I mean, you can take profits. I'm not against that, but I just feel like that's a stock that could eventually maybe some next year or so could get past 40 and even maybe up to $50. So they're a great company. I'm long SoFi, so I like SoFi. I don't want to sell it. You know how sometimes you scared to buy stuff? I'm scared to sell SoFi. Yeah, that's me. So any pullbacks, I'm probably, at least at this point, okay, because things change day to day and week to week. But at this point, because anything can happen to a company, CEO getting scandal and just stuff like that can tank it. So we got to look at that. But any pullbacks for me is a buying opportunity. Again, I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell. What I say is for informational purposes only. Talk to your financial advisor about investing. It comes with risk and you can lose everything. But I love SoFi. Okay. All right. So yes, so I will I'm not seeing some of these chats are coming up too late. Anyway, I'll be back on to answer a few more questions, but again, I'm doing more Q&A in my membership, so I'll be spending some real great amount of time in there making sure that people's questions are answered and stuff. And again, we got our full-fledged coaching program. I'll put the links in the description. And for the members, also, I will put my one-on-one, I'll put my calendar schedule on there as well. All right, so here is my advice before I leave. I just want to remind you guys, please stop rolling the dice. Stop gambling with all of this. Your life, your money, your health, all of it. Stop gambling and start growing. Okay. Start planting seeds, because as surely as Jesus is Lord, there is a seed time and there is a harvest time. I'll see you guys next time.